All right, DeOrr, so take us back. Was it Friday?
Yes.
I'm not sure what day it is today.
Today's Monday. It was Friday.
It was Friday.
Friday at about 2:26 is when was it 2:26?
It was 2:36 when I called.
It was
Search and
2:36 is when she called, and I was in the truck hauling down to the road to try and get service because I didn't think one bar would get it. So she got very, very lucky. I was blessed that she was able to get service because I didn't want to try and risk getting halfway through my talking to the 911 and have it cut off. So I went down to where I knew I can get a little service about a half mile down the road. We searched after about 20 minutes and in a dead panic, not knowing where he was in such a small area and never being there, I knew I was in trouble. So we decided to call search and rescue, and that's when I drove down. She tried getting a signal out. As soon as I got a hold of them, they told me that she was on the other line with them, and they had our location, and they were on our way. They were amazing. They are amazing, and they still continue to be. Lehigh County Sheriff and Salmon Search and Rescue, you could not ask for a better group of people, volunteers and search and rescue, and just everybody. You couldn't ask for better people. So sincere, so concerned, and everybody was so emotionally attached to this, as anybody would be of a 2-year-old. He's pretty small for his age, but he moves pretty good, and that was our concern. He was right with us. Where it's at is, I thought it would be perfect to go camping there because it's enclosed by walls of mountains, and there's not much space around there that he could go. And our biggest concern was the creek, which was knee deep, a few feet wide, but he's a little guy. They finally, yesterday, we were able to put that to rest, and Lehigh County Sheriff, Sheriff Dave, and the rest of the sheriffs have put out that they assured me there is 100% chance that he is not anywhere in that water, around that water. They have torn that creek upside down and in and out. Divers have gone through wetsuits, along with the helicopter. That was the world's most advanced search and rescue helicopter, volunteered out of Montana, and those guys were just amazing. The accuracy they had with the night vision ability it has and the heat range it can see. They were, the one guy, I can't remember his name. I've met so many people, so many good people, but his own safety, he was more or less, he was strapped in and he was on the side of that helicopter looking, and he was looking down. I remember them telling me that they asked the search and rescue to go look over because there was an orange insect repellent can, they think, by the bank, and they were dead on. That's what it was. That's how accurate these guys are.
They thought it might have been like a part of a shoe or something, but they said, go check that out.
These guys search miles, so the mile radius they have it is a very rocky terrain. It is very open, but it's not, the helicopter that is used to back very deep Montana. It is designed for a lot worse situations than this, and there was not a trace of my son found. There still isn't, but the search is on. That's the hearsay of things has kind of gotten way out of hand. The search is so far has been put on that has been suspended, and that is not entirely sure or true. Sheriff Dave of Lehigh County, I just spoke with him on the phone this morning. He has got horseback riders and trackers up there right now, and very, very advanced professionals. I'll be going up and I've just come down to get any resource I can get to go back up today. What questions did you guys have?
Tell us a little bit about, first of all, how are you guys holding up? I know a lot of people are praying for you. They're concerned.
Friends and family, and hoping to be strong for him.
The support around us is what's, I know, keeping me together, because if we didn't have all of our family, the minute I called my mom and she was up there in a matter of hours, and same with the rest of our family, they were just up there around us.
Luckily, a few phone calls is all it took at first. And we had, just as Sheriff Davis said in the news, there was 175 plus people up there in the grid searches, volunteers, professionals, and anybody I called. The service up there is very here, there. It's camping, you know. We're trying to hold up the best we can, but we have hope is the thing. Hope is what keeps it going. Hope is because the search is not over. Search is not done. We will find him, no matter what.
You were in the truck, so was it you that first realized, oh no, DeOrr's not here?
No, we both did.
No, we both did.
After 20 minutes of up and down the creek and up and around the camp, and he wasn't there, that's when I got in my pickup truck and drove down the road to try and get some service.
Yeah, especially after screaming his name. We have nicknames for him. No sound of him.
This little
no
boy
crying.
is not. He's a goer and a mover, but he's not. He does not go away from his parents. He does not.
Yeah, he's very attached
So this
to
is
us.
very unusual.
Very, very unusual, sir.
And we didn't hear people around us. We didn't see anybody.
Have you told them about the EMT bag? That needs to be addressed.
Yeah, I know social media can be a good thing, but it can also
That's
be a bad thing.
We just
one
don't
of the
want
walls we're
anything
going up against.
twisted.
Yeah, we don't want to twist it. So clear up any rumors that you've seen or heard.
We need to,
We've-
we need to
One-
talk about that.
One thing that
We
concerned
want to
me,
get to that. What's most of the biggest rumors that are going around is, I mean, I have heard everything from why you would make a rumor that has to do with a 3-year-old is if you're not going to help, please don't. If it's not helpful.
Yeah,
It's
just-
this is a 2, almost 3-year-old we're talking about. Please help us. But I've heard everything from, I am a truck driver. I've heard everything from my company, it won't let me come home off the road to look for my son. I was there the entire time, and my employer, 4 hours after my son went missing, has been up there day and night, has not slowed down. And that one bothered me, and then they got worse, and they got worse, and they got worse. But that's a handful of bad with a bunch of good. The amount of support is very overwhelming, and it's good.
Are there any rumors that you've seen or anything you want to clear up, Jessica?
somebody at the store in DeOrr said, it was one of the ladies that had worked at the store, said that they saw a gentleman and a younger blonde boy matching our description of our son, really filthy, buying candy for him, and he was just bawling in a black truck. That is the only
Here's the problem. My pickup
he
truck's
drives
black.
a black truck.
As a family, we went down to get a few things.
So it could have been
Earlier,
you.
it was
me,
earlier that
but
day.
they claim it was at 6 o'clock that evening, and we were search and rescue until what, 3:45?
Yeah, from
We haven't left the camp since 1 o'clock that afternoon, so it's just a lot of hearsay, and
Was anybody camping around you?
that we don't know. I come to find I didn't know the area, and I didn't know it's very open, but you can't see much. There's a road that goes up and along the top. We're camped underneath the reservoir, basically right below it, and you can go up above the reservoir. And I didn't even know the road was up there. And as I traveled up there myself, I come to find out I can see everything going on in that campsite, but you can't see out. You can't see up, you can't see around, and if anybody comes to the bottom of your campground, you can't even see who they are.
So they could have come into your
They
camp
could have
and
came in and you
wouldn't
couldn't never know it. And with the water was not a fast running, it's a creek, but it is quite loud moving through the logs and things like that. So hearing range is not all that far either. So you couldn't hear anybody coming up either.
So he was just kind of playing, and you guys were doing your thing, and then you noticed.
he was
he's not
playing
here.
with-
He's
Yeah,
not
he was
here.
He
with
was
my
playing with
grandfather.
Grandpa. He was getting ready for a nap. And I say it was almost, by that time it was almost 2, and he usually takes his nap. We were just, we decided we were going to go a little exploring. He was going to be good with Grandpa by the campfire. We weren't more than probably
10
50
minutes.
50 yards away in 10 minutes. But the time I seen him to the point I figured out he was gone. And I come back up in the creek, and I actually seen there were some things down by the little minnows and I thought he would just love. So when I come back up to get him, and I yelled over to Grandpa, where's little DeOrr? He immediately shocked. He says, he came up to you, because it's such a small area. That's what a lot of people, they don't understand, is they just assume, how could you let your kid out of your sight? This area is pretty well blocked in, and you can see, there's no way you couldn't not see him in what we thought. And in a split second, your whole world is upside down and vanished. There's not a trace found. That's the other reason why this has been called on the news as a suspension, because it is not a suspension, but there's not a single trace of him. This child loses stuff. He's 2, almost 3. Anybody who has a child in that age range knows. They leave trails. They lose stuff.
She was
nothing.
Anything.
There's just nothing. And that's where we're starting to move is there's a possibility that he may be with somebody, and that's what's giving us hope that it's a bad thing that he will be not with us right now, but it also means that there is a good chance that he is alive and with somebody. So we are trying every aspect we can, any aspect we can.
Is that what your gut tells you, as his
Yes.
father?
Yes.
As his father, I believe, and I think after being up there, and a lot of people agree with me, a lot, that he is no longer up the mountain anymore. The searching advances they used and was just very thorough for miles. It wasn't a stone left unturned. There still isn't, and still we're going to continue to search. But being his father also, that's where my heart and my gut tell me, but I'm not sure. So that's where I'm asking the public's help. Anything. The Lehigh County Sheriff is who's handling this, but they're not designed for systems quite like this. They've got 2 phone lines, and please be patient. They're doing the best they can, and we all are, and we will find him.
Do you plan to maybe hold a vigil down here? I guess you maybe haven't even thought about it, or do you want the community in Idaho Falls to rally? I mean, I know they don't want a lot of people going up there.
That's what we're not real sure. I don't, yet again, as a father who's very concerned with the whole family, we'll tell you yes. If we can get the whole state of Idaho up there, we would love to. But in such a small area that has been combed and combed and combed, something may have been missed. But I don't know. I'm going to be getting with the Lehigh County Sheriff and the Salmon Salmon Search and Rescue to see what their thoughts on everything is. And trust me, with such a small area, 175 people, there was nowhere to park, nowhere to walk. There was grid searches up from one, and there's ridges on one side of you and the other, and they're not very far apart. And there was all searched, all the way down to the bottom, all the way above the reservoir. The reservoir itself, a lot of people know the place. The reservoir itself isn't but maybe a few feet deep. You can see, if you're up on top, you can see the bottom of the center. If you're looking at the middle of the reservoir, you can see the bottom of it. So everything has been 100% thoroughly checked, but nobody can guarantee me 100%, so I'm going to keep looking.
We'll continue to look until he's found. We don't care how long it takes. We think as many people that have shared the story and continue to share his pictures and things like that, if somebody has him, they'll eventually
Somebody
bring him
will
back.
come forward wondering where this child has come from.
With some sort of
And
information.
that may not be the case, but it could be. So that's why we're trying to look at this aspect as well.
And you want people to keep sharing that
Yes.
photo?
Yes,
Keep sharing
please keep
photos,
sharing his photo. Please keep him in your mind, your hearts, and your prayers, and just keep your eyes open, please. Social media in general, in public, just keep your eyes open and keep sharing.
Tell me about the blanket.
This is his blanket. He doesn't go anywhere without his blanket, his cup, or his monkey. And all 3 of them were left at the campground. And
No, all 3 has to be with him.
Yes.
He will trip over them if he has to, but they are going with him. And this is the first time since he's been born, pretty much, he's been without these things.
Yeah.
And that's why another reason.
Another reason why we're wondering.
Yes, because
And that's
this is
may
the blanket
seem-
that we brought him home in from the hospital. This is what comforts him in all times.
This is an exact replica of a security blanket for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
This is his actual blanket. He does not go anywhere without it. That's our other concern of why.
Yeah.
What
And
would you, should he be out there and happen to see this? What would you say?
We're looking for you, son, and we will find you. And we love you more than anything in the world. You have a lot of people who love you and are looking for you. Buddy will find you.
We'll
Daddy
never
will
stop
find you.
looking until we get you a home.
I've got a 2-year-old, and you guys have been all I've thought about the past 2 days. Is there anything you want to add? Anything we didn't get to?
Just if somebody has him, please don't hurt him. Just bring him home safely to us.
No matter what it
where
takes.
he belongs. Even if you have to just leave him at a store where somebody else will see him and bring him home safely to us.
Just drop him off.
Yeah, just drop him off somewhere
And if
where
that's not the case,
somebody is at so that they can see him and bring him home.
And if that may not be the case, we will search for you and search for you and search for you until we find you. No matter how long it takes, no matter what we got to overcome, we will find you, son.